Hey, yo, this is Said Talk Podcast, and we are back with another one. We are keeping it going, right? So, this is a financial game changer. This is the series, baby, and this is episode 3, and we rocking. I highly recommend that you pause the video right now and go ahead and get a pencil, a pen, piece of paper, because we're about to go real deep on this topic. This topic today, we're going to be discussing the rules of money, right? So, the rules of money, like I say, if you don't have a pen and paper right now, please pause it. I highly recommend you go and get that because we about to go in, baby. But look, check this out. So, we're talking about the rules of money, right? The first rule of money that we're going to discuss is compound interest. Compound interest. Okay, so this is huge. Okay, eighth wonder of the world. Uh, Compound interest, when you're earning interest on your money and for your money to grow on its own. Yeah, we about to definitely get into that. So listen. So the compound interest, the way it works, it's like Albert Einstein. He actually simplified this rule for all of us to understand it easier, right? So you have the rule of 72. Okay, the rule of 72 is very important. So let's just say, for example, if you are 29 years old and you have $10,000 saved in your savings account, so you're no longer contributing to this money. You just have $10,000. It's in the savings account. But in that savings account, you're earning 1%. Okay, you're earning 1%. And let's just say, if you want to see how long it would take for your money to double, this is what you do, right? You take the 1% divided into 72, and that's going to tell you how many years it would take for your money to double. So in this case, your money is going to double every 72 years. So at age 101, you now have $20,000. Honestly, though, how does that sound? Seriously. Here's the crazy part. So I'm gonna pause real quick on that. So I've asked that question several times with some of my clients, several times with just random people that we're talking about money with, and slim chance, right, where I say, "Oh, you have 20,000, in a double in 72 years, right? How does that sound?" Some people be like, "Man, not bad. That's pretty cool." And it's crazy how we don't really have that understanding or the knowledge of money, how it works, and things like that. So I was shocked by that answer, but at the same time, I was not shocked at all by the answer because I had to actually realize, like, wait a minute, they're not actually teaching this concept in school, right? They're not teaching this stuff. So why would this person really know that answer? All right, but continuing on, right? Let's say if you're earning 4%. So you're 29, you have 10,000 in your savings account. Instead of earning that 1%, you now have 4% interest that you're earning on your money. And so if you divide that right into 72, and so now your money is going to double every 18 years. Every 18 years, right? And so when we look at the age of 65, your money has accumulated to $40,000, right? And at age 65, what are most people really thinking about? Right? Retiring. Can you retire with 40,000 in your savings account? Absolutely not. You're going to be looking for a job probably in 2 weeks, right? You're going to be down there at Walmart, something like that, pushing carts, checking receipts, you know. Shout out to them. I'm not knocking them either, but I'm just saying, you feel me? A lot of times we really don't plan to fail. We just fail to plan most of the time, right? And so, look, we're starting to understand this concept of compound interest. The idea is that the higher the interest that you are actually earning on your money, the quicker your money grows immediately, right? So on its own without you contributing. I'm going to say that again. The higher the interest on your money, right, that you're earning on your money, the quicker your money grows and doubles. Higher the interest, your money is in that account where you have high interest. Guess what? Your money is going to double quicker over the year. So if you're earning 12% interest, your money now is going to double every 6 years, right? So if you're earning 12% interest on that $10,000, your money is going to double every 6 years in that account. So if you're 65 years old now, earning that 12%, that means at 65, you should have maybe $640,000 at that time. 640 that wow. Yeah, now I'm talking about. But listen, that's deep. And most people didn't really know that. And so I shared this story before, and I'm going to share it again. I had no clue on how interest actually worked ever. And then that explained the reason why I was on the other side of interest, right? So there's two things. You're either on one other side, right? One of the sides of interest. You're either earning the interest or you're paying the interest. Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. There's two sides of interest. You're either paying interest or you're earning interest, right? So if you have no idea about how to earn interest, guess what? That means you're paying the interest because you're taking loans out, right, from the bank. You're taking loans out from these loan companies. And when you pay the loan back, you're paying your principal, but then with interest, the charge of the interest as well. And so that's how I learned about interest because I was paying this loan back every single month, every month. And I called, was like, hey, I'm realizing that my bill, it's not really going down. Well, why? And it was like, well, you're doing about $500, $800 a month. And we're taking our cut, right, for the interest charge, right? So out of that $800, you have maybe $400, 500 going to interest. And then the rest is going to your balance, to the principal. Wow. So I was like, wow, I'm on the wrong side of interest, right? And if you guys are on that side, if you're listening right now, you need to get from that side of interest and then start getting into a place where you could actually earn interest. This is huge, right? So now you might be thinking like, so where can I earn the interest, right? Where can I go and where can I put my money to actually earn a high rate of return on the money? One of the places is this, and this is free game. Like I say, man, if you got a pen and paper, jot it down. This is free game. One of the accounts now, right? So you heard about the CD accounts. Um, you heard about your high yield saving accounts, right? Even certain bank accounts, right? Being back in the day where you was only earning 0.01% of the interest. That's it. So nothing. Maybe in a year you might get a penny. Okay. But now some of these accounts the interest actually went up. So one of the names I'll give you is Capital One. Capital One, they have a savings account. It's called 360 Performance, right? So Capital One have a savings account. It's called 360 Performance. And you're earning in that account almost 5%. I believe it's like 4.25% interest that you're earning, right? So I have some money in that account as well. And to see $8 of interest every month or 12, 15, $20 of interest that I'm earning every month is crazy versus a penny every year. I'm gonna repeat that because this is deep. I have some money in a Capital One savings account, 360 Performance. That's the name of it. You could go to capitalone.com and log in, boom, hover over, savings and credit account, savings and whatever the regular account, and then you're gonna see all of the stuff. Boom, start an account, and it's gonna show you about all of the savings accounts and stuff like that. But the money that I have in this account, I'm telling you, every single month, I'm earning double digit interest. I might have earned maybe $8 twice, right? Because I'm putting more money into that account. And so the more money that I'm having, right, the more interest, the money that I'm getting from the interest is going to be more as well. And so now I'm in double digit earnings every single month in that account. And I'm like, dang, that's crazy, right? And then when your interest compounds, so like let's say if you've earned $20, right, last month, but then the following month, right, you're still earning. Like now your interest is calculating the gains that you've earned already too. The interest that you're earning is also calculating the gains that you've earned, the money that was given to you in your account. Come on, man. Oh man, look, this is rule number one: compound interest. This is what I'm telling you guys. All you got to do is go to Google, search high yielding savings accounts, or you can even look at some CD accounts right now because, like I said, the interest rate on the CD accounts definitely went up, right? For sure. Um, and definitely think about that stuff too. And so, like, even if you had an old 401k, for example, right? So a lot of times, people they leave their jobs, right, to get a new job, and the job that they've left, they also leave their 401k, right, with the company. They leave it in the market, and guess what? You're losing as well. If that money is sitting in your 401k, that means your 401k is directly invested inside of the market. So if the market goes down or when it goes down, you actually lose money out of your 401k as well. And so another thing is you could actually roll over your 401k into a fixed index annuity where you will not lose a penny, right, at all. You have upside potential and downside protection. But guess what? It is also a high interest earning account as well. So that's something else that you can do. Because if you're no longer contributing to your old 401k, 403b, your IRAs that you have, right, your IRAs, if you're no longer contributing to that, you can roll it over into a fixed index annuity and then just have your money grow on its own without loss, right? Grow on its own with downside protection based off the interest that you're earning in that account. So, how I explained the rule of compound interest, that's exactly how it's going to work with your old retirement plans and things like that. So, that's another option as well. We also have a index universal life, right? So we have a index universal life. This is another great vehicle where you could have money inside of this vehicle earning interest, right? Every year, earning interest every single year. Because in an index universal life, your index portion is linked to a index market, right? So our stock market index. And what that means is you actually earn the performance only of the market. So the S&P 500. A lot of people know about the S&P 500. It's a great index in the market, right? Great investment. Um, so let's say if the S&P 500 does well for that year and it has earned 12%, your index universal life will be credited that interest annually, and that's actually how your money grows, right, in that cash value life insurance policy. So that's huge. That's another thing and another way where you can use as a saving component with choosing the right vehicles, right? Because like I say, you might be thinking, where do I put my money where it can just accumulate? right? Where's another place you can do? Oh, like I mentioned, Google. Go to Google and then search high yield accounts. You'll see a bunch of high yield accounts, Sophie, all different type of brands and companies and things like that. Definitely check out their history and and everything that pertains to that, making sure, okay, my money's locked in for a year, my money's locked in for 2 years, or whatever it may be. But a lot of the interest rates has been going up. So let take all of your money out your bank, open up another bank where you're earning interest, right? So if you got money that's coming in for your job, things like that, you could have it actually still going into that account, pay bills from that account and things like that as well, just to earn the interest, right? So any money that's left over, it can stay in that account and you'll be earning on a monthly basis. So yeah, so that's compound interest, man. That's how it works. So you take the interest that you are earning in whatever vehicle that you're using, right? Whether if it's a fixed index annuity, an index universal life, a CD account, right? A high yielding savings account, whatever vehicle that you are using to earn interest on your money, like you have to really make sure that you're utilizing, that you're maximizing your funds. Like take out all of your stuff, put it into a account where you're earning, and just make the most of it. Make the most out of it. That's all. That's all I'm telling you guys. Make the most out of it. Like stop struggling, and you don't have to, because most people are struggling because they're ignorant to a lot of this information. They just don't know. They don't know about it, and that's what I'm here for too, right? I'm gonna definitely educate you, and that's what I do, right? I actually educate people on how to grow their money risk free and tax free. Okay. We'll get into that a little bit later though. Second rule of money, right? So the first rule of money is the rule of 72, which is compound interest. That's how your money grows on its own without contributing. The second rule of money is how money grows. Okay. How money grows. How does money actually grow, right? So yes, it's based off the interest that you earn, but in what accounts, right? So you have fixed accounts, you have variable accounts, and then you also have index accounts, right? So fixed is similar to like a bank account. You put money in there, you're not going to lose the money in that bank, but you're also not going to earn money in there, right? If you're not earning a high interest, like in your Wells Fargo, your Chase, right, and things like that, you're only earning 0.01%. If you don't believe me, look, go to your statements, log into your Wells Fargo, log into your Chase, and look at your statements and just scroll up, right? And then you're going to see where you were credited interest on one of your statements, and then look at it. It's going to say 0.01%. 0.01%. That's very low. Very low. And a lot of us, we put a lot of money in those types of accounts and we're not maximizing our funds. So that's fixed. The second account that, right, how your money grows is variable. So variable is like the stock market. A lot of people invest in the market, right? You have bonds, right? You have stocks. The S&P 500 is 500 Fortune companies, 500 Fortune companies that you can invest in. There's so many different things that you can invest in the 401k. But let me ask you this: is the market, not the 401k, I'm sorry, so many things that you can invest in inside of the stock market. But your 401k is also directly inside of the stock market as well. But would you say that the stock market is very unpredictable, right? Would you say that the stock market is very unpredictable? You might be saying yes. And if that is so, in your 401k, your 403b, your IRAs, doesn't that mean the money that's in there as well in your retirement plan is also unpredictable? Right? Like, so if you're maxing out your 401k, it's in a variable market. It goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down, it go up. It go down, it go up, it go down. No, I'm joking, but look, that's what it do. It go up and it goes down. But we say, oh, I'm about to max out my 401k. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. It's unpredictable. Like you don't know if your 401k will be okay by the time you retire. What happened with the recession, right? 2008. You had those individuals who was looking to retire. They were living in 2006 was like, I'm gonna give it about 2 more years and I'm gonna retire. Nope, didn't happen. Recession hit. It was like, it's no way that I can retire because I'm losing a lot of my money that's in my 401k, right? Because it's directly tied to the market, or I lost my entire 401k, right? So that's the second vehicle that you can have your money in as far as how money grows. The last one is index, right? Index, like I mentioned before, index accounts literally mirror only the performance of a index market. Literally mirror the performance of a index market. And so to kind of paint this picture, right? Because most people say, well, if you are earning the performance of the market when it's doing well, are you losing at all in that index when the market is not doing well? The answer is no, you're not losing a penny, right? One is because your money is not directly invested inside of the market. It just mirrors the performance. That's one. But the two, second answer is this: the company that your money is in, right? So your money is in the index, but the company that you're with that index account, they actually guarantee you a floor rate. And then some indexes that you are invested in or allocated to, they give you a cap rate, right? So let's just say, for example, a cap rate, we're saying 13%. 13% ceiling, meaning that if the market is doing well, it goes up, but the S&P does, let's say the S&P does 15% that year, your index account will be credited 13% because of that cap, right? And then you have a floor rate of 0%, but a lot of companies are actually offering 1% floor rate, which is huge, right? So a floor, right? When you think of a floor, that's saying you cannot go below that floor. You can't go beneath that floor. So people say, if the market tanks, how are you not losing money? You're not losing money because when the market is negative, right? A market doesn't have a floor, okay? And they don't have a ceiling either. So when a market is negative, you cannot go below in your index account. You can't go below that floor rate of 0% or 1%. So let's just say 1%, right? The floor rate is 1%. Guess what? When the market is negative 3%, your index account is still earning 1% because that's the floor. And here's the big argument though. You have a lot of people, they say, well, why don't I just invest completely in the market if I have the potential to earn more, like 20%, if the market has done 20%? And that's a great question, right? But when you think about it, the answer is this: if your money is growing in an index account and your money is growing in the stock market, you're always going to be a step ahead of the stock market with your index account, because when a market loses, you never lose a penny because of that floor rate. And so in the market, when they lose 50%, some people think they have to gain 50% to get right back to where they were. No, you actually have to gain or earn 60, right? 65, 70% to get back to where you were. And so while you're still trying to go up and down just to get to where you lost, my index account is protected. I lock in all of my gains that I've earned in the previous years, but I just can't go below that floor rate of 1% or 0%. So when the market goes back up again, guess what? I'm still credited interest in this index account because I'm linked directly to the performance of the market only. Okay, so that's big, right? So how do your money grow? It's either in a fixed account, it's either in a variable account, or it's either in a index account. That's how your money grows. The third rule is this. Third rule is how your money gets taxed, right? So how your money gets taxed. And this is a big one too, because, and I like talking about the 401k because so many people, like just the population of the world, like most people have a job. Okay. And if you have a job, you have a 401k most of the time. And so when was the last time you actually got hired with a job? They took you in, right? You took your picture for your ID picture. You go in with all this excitement and just like, man, I can't wait to start. I can't wait to start. And then you go into this room, you start signing all of these papers, right? And then when you start, training on campus or whatever, or on the job, and you're behind a computer, so you're just kind of going through everything. You're doing your uniforms, you're doing this, you're doing that. You have to complete all of your modules, your training, online training. At what point did they ever teach you or educate you on how a 401k works? What point? When did they ever teach you about how a 401k will work? Hey, do you want a Roth 401k? Do you want a traditional 401k? And so, right before I get into just the taxes, how your money is taxed, I want to explain this really quick, right? So, when you think of a 401k, this is huge, right? Hopefully, you guys are still taking notes. There are two types of 401ks. Two types. You have a Roth 401k, you have a traditional 401k. And I want to ask this question. If you were getting ready to plant a seed, an itty bitty seed, and Uncle Sam approaches you, it's like, hey, before you plant that seed, listen, I'm here to collect taxes, but I'm going to let you choose when I tax you. Which would you allow Uncle Sam to tax? The seed, or should Uncle Sam leave and then you plant the seed, but he comes back in 30 years to a full grown harvest? And he say, okay, I'm gonna tax the harvest now. Which one would you allow Uncle Sam to tax? The seed or the harvest? The majority would say the seed, like up front, right? I want to tax what's small. And my question to you, right? Some people say, oh, well, if you're paying taxes up front, that's going to be the same amount of dollars that you're paying with taxes, on a harvest. In the past 5, 10 years, have taxes increased or decreased? Just let's be honest, right? Increase, right? Obviously. And that's a whole nother route. But the thing is this, most people would say they want to tax the seed. Think about it this way. Most people want to tax the seed, but those people who want to tax the seed, their money is actually in a place where their harvest will be taxed, right? Because you haven't been educated. You have not been educated on that. And so that's really the concept. Like they want to see tax, but because they haven't taught you how 401k works, your money is in a place where your whole harvest is going to be taxed. It's deep. Let that sit in. Okay. And so the seed being taxed is a Roth 401k. Your harvest being taxed is a traditional 401k, right? What kind of 401k do you have? Right? And so let's go back to the taxes, right? You have tax now. You have vehicles where they're taxing you right now. You have other vehicles where they're taxing you later, right? Your 401ks, your IRAs, and things like that. And then you have another vehicle where it's tax advantage, right? Where you're not really getting taxed in these vehicles like your Roth. You're not being taxed from the harvest, right? You have your cash value life insurance policies. You are not being taxed in that cash value life insurance policy. And that's a big one too, right? When it comes to cash value life insurance, because people, they cannot separate the idea of like life insurance in their mind is death, right? They can't separate that. but as a vehicle to where it's like I want to still use the life insurance, but use it as a vehicle to save money, right? Use it as a vehicle to access money, right? Tax free and things like that. So 401k, the name itself is a tax code. A 401k, that name itself is a tax code. Do me a favor if you are taking notes or even use your phone. I want you to open up your Google, and I want you in the Google search, I want you to type in a tax code, right? It's 7702. Okay. Type in that tax code. It's 7702. And then you might see a link in there, Investopedia, right? Click that link and read the takeaways of that tax code 7702. That tax code is the only code associated to a cash value life insurance policy. Like when you read what that tax code is, what I'm saying is it is associated only to a cash value life insurance policy, meaning that the money that grows inside of that vehicle will be tax free. The gains inside of that you earn inside of that vehicle will be tax free. Guess what? And then your harvest will be tax free if you want to use that vehicle as a supplement in retirement. It will be tax free. What am I saying? First of all, I do personally offer services, right? Financial services where we could guarantee you cash accumulation of your money. We can guarantee you protection of your money, and we can guarantee you tax free of your harvest. We can guarantee it, right? But the thing is this, guys, you want to make sure that you are putting your money in places where you are earning interest, where you don't have to contribute to it in order for your money to grow. You want to make sure that you are putting your money in places where it's protected, meaning that you have upside potential but downside protection. Okay. Yes, you can diversify and have your money in different places, but you definitely want to make sure that you have a vehicle where you are putting your money inside of, where it's protected and it's not losing based off of what the market does. And then also, if you are the seed person, oh, I'm taxing the seed first and not the harvest, you want to make sure that your money is inside of a vehicle where that when you want access to it, it'll be tax free. If you want to pull out for your retirement, it will be tax free. That's what you want to do. And it's simple as that. It's simple as that. Those are the three rules of money, right? Compound interest, how money grows, and how money gets taxed. Knowing this will change your whole life financially. I'm going to say it again, right? The three rules of money: compound interest, how money grows, and how money gets taxed. If you know these three things, I promise you, like if you know how to use them and know where to put your money at, this will change your life financially. I can guarantee you. That's it. That's really all I have for you guys, man. I definitely hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you took a lot of notes. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can definitely message me or leave a comment on the YouTube. You can check out my social media. My Instagram is Cedric Blake Jr., right? Cedric Blake Jr. Definitely message me there. I have my links in my bio, things like that, man. That's it. That is it. Like, I hope you really took notes because this is crucial. And most people don't know that. That's the crazy part. And we'll talk about this a little bit too on the next one. Right? Family A, family B, right? You got a family where, yeah, like I said, we're going to talk about that on the next one because I don't want to spill too much of it. And, because I get deep and I'll speak for a whole nother hour right now. But yeah, the three rules of money. That's it. This is your boy, Seti B. We here, Said Talk Podcast, third episode. the rules of money, man. And we're gonna keep this going every single Monday. We keeping it going. This is episode 3 in our series, A Financial Game Changer. Thank you. And I'm out, baby. Gone.